Welcome to Rama Science World. Learn English by reading books. English books. Tiny changes, remarkable results. The international bestseller Atomic Habits, James Clear. The two-step process to changing your identity. Your identity emerges out of your habit. You are not born with the present beliefs. Every belief, including those about yourself, is learned and conditioned through experiences. More precisely, your habit or how you embody, or your identity. When you make your bed each day, you embody the identity of an organized person. When you write each day, you embody the identity of a creative person. When you train each day, you embody the identity of athletic person. The more you repeat a behavior, the more you reinforce and the identity associated with that behavior. In fact, the word identity was original derived from the Latin word as Asian identitas, which means being, and identidem, which means repeatedly. Your identity is literally your repeated beingness. Whatever your identity is right now, you only believe it because you have proof of it. If you go to church every Sunday for 20 years, you have evidence that you are religious. If you study biology for an hour every night, you have evidence that you are a student. Studious. If you go to the gym even when it's snowing, you have evidence that you are committed to fitness. The more evidence you have for a belief, the more strongly you will believe it. For most of my early life, I did not consider myself a writer. If you were to ask any of my high school teacher or college professor, they would tell you I was a average writer at best. Certainly not a standout. When I began my writing career, I published a new article every Monday and Thursday for the first few years. As the evidence grew, so I did my identity as a writer. I did not start out as a writer. I became one through my habit. Of course, your habit not the only action that influence your identity, but by virtue of their frequency, they are usually the most important ones. Each experience in life modifies your self-image, but it's unlikely you would consider yourself a sorcerer player because you kicked a ball once, or an artist because you scribbled a picture. As you repeated these actions, however, the evidence accumulates and your self image being to change. The effort of one of experiences ends to fade away while the effort of habits gets reinforced with time, which means your habit contributes most of the evidence that shapes your identity. In this way, the process of building habit is actually the process of becoming yourself. This is a gradual evolution. We do not change by snapping our fingers and deciding to be someone entirely new. We change bit by bit, day by day, habit by habit. We are continually undergoing a micro evolution of the self. Each habit is likely a suggestion. Hey, maybe this is who I am. If you finish a book, then perhaps you are the type of person who likes riding. If you go to the gym, then perhaps you are the type of person who likes exercise. If you practice the playing the guitar, perhaps you are the type of person who likes music. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instant will transform your belief, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your identity, new identity. This is one reason why meaningful change does not require a radical change. Small habits can make a meaningful difference by providing evidence of new identity. And if a change is meaningful, it actually is big. That is the paradox of the making small improvement. Putting this all together, you can see that habits are the path to change your identity. The most practical way to change who are you is to change what you do. Each time you write a page, you are a writer. Each time you practice the violin, you are a musician. Each time you start a workout, you are an athlete. Each time you encourage your employees, you are a leader. Each habit not only gets result but also teaches you something far more important, to trust yourself. You start to believe you can actually accomplish these things. When, when the votes mounted up, the evidence begins to change. The story you tell yourself begins to change as well. Of course, it works the opposite way too. Every time you choose to perform a bad habit, it is a vote for that identity. The good news is that you don't need to be perfect in any election. There are going to be a vote for your both sides. You don't need to an animus vote to win an election. You just need to measure a majority. It does not matter if you cast a few votes for a bad behavior or an unproductive habit. Your goal is simply to win the majority of the time. New identities require new evidence. So if you keep the casting the same votes you have always cast, you are going to get the same result you have always had. If nothing changes, nothing is going to change. It is a simple two-step process. Decide the type of person you want to be. Prove it to yourself with small wins. First, decide who you want to be. This holds at any level, as an individual, as a team, as a community, as a nation. What do you want to stand for? What are your principles and values? Who do you wish to become? These are big questions, and many people are not sure where to begin. But they do not know what kind of results they want. To get six pack abs, or to feel less anxiety, or double their salary. That's fine. Start there and work backward from the results. You want to be the type of person who could get those results. Ask yourself, who is the type of person that could get the outcome I want? Who is the person of that could lose 40 pounds? Who is the type of person that could learn a new language? Who is the type of person that could run a successful startup? For example, who is the type of person who could write a book? It's probably someone who is consistent and reliable. Now your focus shifts from writing a book to being the type of person who is consistent and reliable. This process can lead to belief like, I'm the kind of teacher who stand up for her students. I'm kind of doctor who gives each patient the time and empathy the need. I am the kind of manager who advocate for her employees. Once you have a handle on the type of person you want to be, you can begin taking small steps to reinforce you desire. I have a friend who lost over 100 pounds by asking herself, what would a healthy person do? All day long, she would use this question as a guide. Would a healthy person walk or take a cab? Would a healthy person order a burger or a salad? She figured if she acted like a healthy person long, eventually she would become the person. She was right. The concept of identity based habit is our first introduction to another key them in this book. Feedback loops. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shape your habit. It's a two-way street. The formation of all habits is a feedback loop, but it is important to let your values, principles, your identity drive the loop rather than your results. The focus should always be on becoming that type of person, not getting a particular outcome. So, thank you very much. Keep listening.